Hello, beautiful people. Hi, I'm back. I'm back. I'm so happy to be back. I'm just here to leave another message. It's a little follow up to the feminine leadership video I did last time, and I want to add a little bit more to it that's come to me and what I've learned um, since the last time I posted a video. I do want to say hi, welcome to the new people. If this is your first time clicking into my channel, welcome to a Talk Time with Todd. This is our special spot. And if you're a returning curious one, welcome back. I appreciate you for returning. So let's get to it, y'all. I have been truly blessed and honored to receive the spiritual insights that's been coming to me along with what I've been able to research and just in a very few conversations that I've had, um, gain more of a connection with the knowing that I already that is the knowing that is how important and powerful and necessary the feminine is. How important, how powerful, and how necessary the feminine is. Whether we're talking energetically, we are talking energetically, and then internally and externally. Every way she shows up, it shows up. The feminine shows up every way. Is so important. So I want to go back into the fact that we are clearly anyone that is on a journey of self discovery, if you're spiritual, religious, scientific, I mean, anyone, everyone can see that life as we've known it for the past 50 decades or 5 decades, excuse me, 50 years, 5 decades, can see that life is changing extremely quickly. And some of us, if we've been doing our work, if we've been doing the work on ourselves, if we've been trying to expand our consciousness and just um, do the necessary changes within our own lives, we are seeing, even on a deeper scale, how this shift is happening. The inevitable is happening. And a part of that is putting the feminine back in her rightful place. Truly. So, and this is a part of the original blueprint for humans, for mankind. We just mucked it up. We messed it up. We threw it away. We disregarded her. And we've been suffering ever since. We've been suffering ever since. But right now in this lifetime in our civilization, we've seen that there's gradually been people, those of us that are remembering the truth, and that's become even more rapid at a rapid pace over the last, decade or so, 2 decades, based on what I've heard from elders that have been going through their experiences prior to what I've experienced, and then those that are younger than me, what they're experiencing. It seems like we are on a much more rapid pace than it was before. And like I said before, I've been getting a lot of information about ancient goddesses, high priestess, women of leadership, and even and that includes ancient texts like the Bible, the Book of Enoch, And it's a very clear story that the feminine, as far as it pertains to participation in our actual creation and the significance in life as we know it, has been reduced and dishonored in a very, very, very extreme scale. Now, we recognize God as a masculine, but there's also a feminine energy to God as we know it, as the creator, source. You know, we say Father in heaven and we say Mother on earth, Mother Earth for a reason. And we, as the children, as a portion of creation, we have been dishonoring and disrespecting the mother. And it's mostly out of ignorance and the manipulation of those who understand how powerful knowledge is, and how feeding us a narrative, a distorted narrative for centuries, made it easier to control us. Because if you control the knowledge, then you have the power. But we have been given the great opportunity to no longer be have the truth hidden. All is starting to be revealed. But you know, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Knowing better means that we are required to do better. And knowing and learning that we are not in balance when we are not respecting, when we don't have the masculine and feminine energies internally at a balance, it will not have the masculine and feminine energies externally in balance. Okay? And this is why the awakening it's been happening. We've been called to clean ourselves out, heal ourselves. That's why that term know thyself is such a powerful thing to say, because when you know the truth, when you know what really lies inside is connected to what's outside, and what the base, what that foundation, what that original blueprint is, it changes. We can change reality. And I'm going to go more into detail into how exactly we can literally change reality by getting back to an understanding and putting this feminine energy back in its rightful place. Because without doing that, we cannot shift. We can't. We can't shift the way we're supposed to. Now, when we say to cleanse and ourselves out, and to get more in touch with our internal feminine, it's best to do that because the sensitivity to recognize spirit, to connect with our hearts, to have our wisdom from from cleansing up our trauma, from doing our shadow work, is fed to us through our feminine energy, through our internal bodies. This is our feminine energy. And then we can feed that to our masculine side, which is the logic, the side of us that takes action, the side of us that carries out the work. But we will be doing it through truth. We can stand in our own power and solidarity to do what we need to do. That's when we will see our best lives. And of course, there's a process. That process has to be done. We can't. And everyone's process is not identical, but that's the basis of what needs to be done. And depending on your personal experiences, what your personal purpose is, what your personal traumas are, it's going to look different for you. And this leads me to another point. I mean, this leads me more into this point that about the deep rooted trauma that cannot be ignored. Okay? On a large or personal scale, We cannot ignore the trauma that's been done to the feminine energy. Okay? We have to heal that trauma that we've done to to the feminine energy, because it goes all the way back. It's ancestral. It's not just in our and we start off by healing it through our personal healing of our trauma, which is connected to us from our ancestors, which goes back civilizations, times before us, the golden ages, all of those ancient Sumerian times, you know, um, I don't want to start naming civilizations because we all connect in different ways, but it goes back. The trauma goes back. The connection of trauma goes back. Just like the memories of good days, of our gifts, of our internal gifts that we were born with, of our it's all connected back to all the way back to ancient times. So when we try to bypass doing the healing work, we're not going to get to the truth. We're not going to connect to find out what our gifts are. We're not going to hear from spirit the way we could in its full capacity. Again, this is a part of why those in power wanted it to be religious leadership versus us tapping into our natural internal feminine energy that connects to spirit initially and allows us to hear from spirit directly. I'm not against pastors, preachers, imams, popes, or anything. I'm not against that. I'm not. Because gathering together with like minds is very powerful. And some people have more time and effort that they take. It's just like clicking into YouTube to hear somebody's perspective who's done the studying and is sharing with you what they've learned, what they know, what spirits come to them and giving them. I feel like going into the church or the masjid or the cathedral and hearing from a person who's done their studies and has a calling on their life to teach is doing the same thing. So I don't think it's anything wrong with that. But what I'm saying is when you do the work to clean your body, your mind, and connect internally with the Christ within you, with the crystals within inside of you, then you can get clear information directly. This is part of what they didn't want us to know. And doing the healing of the trauma internally will externally heal the trauma. And we all can evolve. We all can consciously become more aware and get the knowings delivered to us. Heal the world. Okay? Now, with healing the feminine, like I said, in turn, the masculine is also being affected. The masculine internally and our external masculines that we are dealing with in each other. It's being affected as well. Because the feminine energy that has experienced the healing, the growth, the wisdom, the vulnerability, and healthy boundaries and compassion is able to support the masculine energy inside, which again helps the masculine to stand in truth, to carry out truth, which makes everything more balanced. And I've been saying this in other ways prior to today, but what I wanted to also share with you all is that um, I've been trying something that I think that has been truly helpful for me. And I don't know, it might help you too. So I want to share something I've been putting into practice. Um, because, as I was saying before, we shape our own reality. We can literally shape reality. And the way that happens is by what we first feed into our subconscious, right? If you think about it, since we came out of the womb, our subconscious has been fed by what we hear, what we taste, what we feel emotionally, being programmed. All of these things form patterns and programs, and then we carry it out, and what we carry out forms reality. So why can't we, now that we know my subconscious is what uh carrying out what's in my subconscious, it what forms my reality. So why not work on that, right? Now, um what I've started to do, because I've had 3 or 4 years now where I've been uh truly, I had to go into the pits of darkness within myself. And I've said this before, find my shadows, find the traumas, work them, work them, work them, work them. And it seemed like everything I was revealing, it was another thing and another thing, you know? And I'm not mad about it. I'm happy that I understand the purpose of it. But now that I've done the shadow work, I feel like I've completed a cycle of that. But when you have been doing things for so long, for so many years, you pick up habits. Whether it's the way you think, the way you physically carry out your intentions, the way you cope with challenges, all of that, the way you believe in yourself, all of that, you formed habits that stop serving you once you realize the truth. Then you need to stop acting out old habitual ways, because those things are lingering around and stopping us from moving forward fully into the new life. So what I did was I took 3 days. I don't know, the number three is a thing for me, but I took 3 days and I was very intentional about what vision do I have for my life? How do I want to feel inside? How do I want to show up for myself and those around me? How do I want to move forward in my purpose of being of service? All of these things I took very long, deep contemplation on. And I wrote out something, and it covers everything as far as I'm concerned. And playing, I've recorded myself uh, saying these things to me. I recorded not what I wanted to release. I recorded the energy that I want to be in moving forward, the life I want to live moving forward, the Talia I want to show up as moving forward. How do I want Ta to be moving forward? That's what I recorded. And I play it for myself at night and I play it for myself in the morning. And I truly believe that this has been what has helped me to take action. I don't worry about what I need to let go anymore. I'm so focused on where I want to be and how I want to feel going forward. This doesn't mean that challenges don't come up, but I feel more empowered I feel more proactive in my reality than I ever have since I've started listening to my recorded voice. So try that out and see if that works for you. I've tried listening to people's testimonies about what works for them, just like you're listening to me right now. I've listened to guided meditations. I've None of that works for me. Worked for me. None of it worked for me. This has truly worked for me. I'm so excited about it. I love it. And I'm going to probably do different forms of it as time goes on. As my life change and things evolve, I'm probably going to change it and tweak it and do it in different ways. But I love it. I love it. And I feel like it's affecting my reality. It's helping me. It's a definite tool that I appreciate. Um, and so, yes, if that works for you, please comment. Let me know if it works out for you, if you try it, or, if you don't want to put a comment under the video, if you want to DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is a Talk Time with Ty as well. And let me know if it works out for you. Another thing I wanted to share is that a few months back, um, I was guided to start using lavender, and I wasn't sure in what way Spirit wanted me to start using. God wanted me to start using lavender, but I started using lavender oil. I burn it for aromatherapy. It's very calming for my busy brain. It relaxes me. I pray with it um, as protection over me, my spirit self, and my physical surroundings. And I've even just when I write, sometimes I might just write the word lavender because everything is energetic to me. And so I wanted to share that with you all. If you are having a hard time sleeping, or you feeling anxious, or you feel like you need some type of protection, look into lavender. Don't just go by what I say. Look it up. See what how it can be useful for you spiritually, or even just as aromatherapy to keep, for calming purposes. Um, and if you are a person like me who has a very, very long history with religious teachings and had struggled with convictions about doing things like using natural oils and burning sages or Palo Santo or anything like that, the holy oil and Sunday communion with grape juice and crackers is the same thing. Symbolically, you are using tools to pray, connect to God, connect to spirit, the divine, whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing. So don't let yourself feel guilty about that. That's just a tidbit from me to you. And that's it. I'm going to close out this video now. I love you all so much. I really, really do. I really do. I love everyone and everything that's living. I do, because I understand it. I understand what that means. And my heart is truly there. And I send out healing energy and love energy and just positivity and compassion to everyone every single day. Because we need it. And I need it. I feel good doing it. It does something for my heart, for my spirit, for my soul to do that. And I feel like there's a whole lot of other people that do it for me that don't know me. I can feel it. And so if you do, when you do pray or you do meditate, send out some love, send out encouragement and compassion to other people, to the universe. We all could use it truly at this time and going forward. Okay. Um, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't. Check out, I've added more music, y'all, to the Music Vibes playlist. And I've added, for those of you that are curious, I've added information videos too to the, let me see. I think it's something a little different. I think it's called the playlist. I'm sorry if I can't remember. But I've added videos to that playlist too, um, for y'all. As I've learned, as I've come across them and I find that they're interesting or helpful or resourceful, I've added it to the playlist for you all too, okay? Um, so love yourselves like only you can. And until next